Hey everybody, it's Amber with Chiliquin Unique. So I am actually going to do a pretty quick tutorial on something I've stumbled across that is relevant to my life and maybe relevant to yours. So there is these posts, okay, and these are your typical metal stud earring posts, and I'm allergic to metal, so I cannot wear these, and I haven't ever been able to wear metal. The rings on my fingers, I actually had to go through a lot of pain, blistering, and yuckiness to even be able to wear them on these two fingers. And every now and then I still have to take them off for a week. So, I did some research finally, didn't give up, just kind of waited for people to come up with an idea, a solution to this. Because I have tried every kind of metal. So, they have come up with these little plastic posts. Now, not the most favored item for jewelry, I am sure. But for people that cannot accessorize themselves, hallelujah. So, these are a bit bendy. I'm going to give you like the worst case scenario of these. These are a bit bendy, so I have little ones that are allergic to metal as well. And when they rage out trying to put this in their ear, and it bends, and I thought, oh no, it's going to be, it's wasted. We're going to have to make another pair. And yet, they just kind of straighten it out and then put it back in their ear. So it's not that bad. I do it gently because I don't want to bend it, because I like what I'm wearing. But, they seem to be somewhat durable. They're not breaking. They're not snapping. I'm sure if you sat there and, like any metal and did this, it would break. But kind of somewhat durable. I thought for sure it was going to fall apart or, I don't know, crease and then not come back out. But so far, no problems. My husband's been wearing his earrings for about 2 weeks. No problems. He's not allergic to metal, but he liked the studs that I made. So, there you go. So I'm going to teach you what I know with these studs, what I'm doing right now, because we're just kind of having a lot of fun with the idea of wearing jewelry, me and my daughter, and my son. So this is one of our ideas and what we've been wearing. We go to Hobby Lobby, or you can go to Joann's, not Michael's. Did not find these anywhere in Michael's. But you can go into, where else did I go? I believe it was Walmart had them too. But you go and find these cute little buttons. Any buttons that you like. These are just ones that we liked. And they're cute little skull and crossbones girls. And they have this weird little loop thing on the back. And take yourself some flush cutters, and you flush cut this little loop off. Okay? No more. Now it's just a plastic piece. And I do resin as well, but I don't have these molds. So, I just thought these were super cute. We got some fat cats, some cat faces, some sunflowers. And we are actually in the middle of doing resin, so that's why you see, well, you can't see it, but we have like resin molds out because we're in the process of doing our resins. We have our little couple pieces made, little squares for some really small studs when you're just trying to, minorly accessorize, or you gotta be busy and active. You don't want to get hung up on anything. So there's those. Cute! Flip them over, and I'm going to do a pair of the metal, and I'm going to do a pair of the plastic. And with these, because these are somewhat shiny, there's a lot of them that are not shiny or not smooth. They're kind of more of a matte. Those ones stuck with no problem. But these ones with any kind of shine on it, I have had a couple where I do a test on it, and I pulled it, and it came off. So what I came up with was, since I do so much resin stuff, I have to work with a lot of different tools. Sandpaper. And what you're going to do is you're going to sand that And I do resin over the whole back of this on my second layer, so this doesn't really matter. We're just scuffing it up. We need it to not be smooth and pretty. It will be smooth and pretty when we do our whole coat of resin on the back. And I'm just doing where I'm going to put the stud, which is going to be up in here. And if you have any like big tags there, you just knock those off too. You don't gotta go ham. You just are taking off the shine. Sand where you want it to stay. Okay. So then I'm going to also take the metal, because the metal is very shiny. We're going to scuff that up just a tiny bit. Just on the part that's going to be facing the earring. Doesn't have to be perfect. We're just trying to give it a little something to grip onto. There we go. These ones I don't have to. These are like a matte, so they're not actually a shiny, smooth surface. It's more of a matte, unfinished surface. So I'm going to take some of this and I'm actually going to pour a little bit into one of my silicone cups just so I can control it a little bit. I tried doing it from the nozzle, but I have a terrible habit of pouring too much and then I have to try to take it off or whatever. For this very first bit, I don't need a lot. And while we're at it, we will do our couple little square studs. A little dab to get them started. That's all we're doing. If we're going to tack them down. These are so light. They're very, very small. Alright, put that to the side. One set of plastic on the skull and crossbones. So what I'm actually lining up with is between these two bones, not on the bow. Make sure they're about down the same amount. Now the metals. So these ones, you're going to want to move it around a little bit. Might need a little bit more on there actually. Because the UV light can't penetrate metals. So you have to make sure there's just a tiny bit around it. There we go. I'll drop on there. We want it to kind of squeeze out and create a little bead around it. And then we'll sandwich it in with another layer. There we go. And this is all trial and error. It's just what I've had to learn to make this idea I had work. And when it worked, it was amazing. Okay. Tiny littles. This would be fun for anybody who's, like I said, really active, or perhaps even like when you pierce a baby's ears if they're allergic to metal and you don't want to lose the holes and have to re-pierce them. These would be a great option. So I'm going to bring my little UV thing over here. And it doesn't matter if they're all under, I just need them to start to tack down. Okay, so that was their first cure. We're going to check and just make sure that they're tacked down. Ooh, make sure they're tacked down. Okay, they are. So now I'm going to line them up for another 90 seconds. I'm going to cut this part out because you don't need to watch resin literally dry. But that's it. You're just going to keep doing it. I can feel the little bit of stick on it still on those squares, so we'll just do them all. Then I'm going to come back. I'm going to do the whole resin layer on the back and show you how I sandwich it in so that it cannot just pop off. And that'll be it. You'll know how to make yourself some metal-free, cute little earrings of all the different fun characters and things like this out there. So I made some little studs with some precocias, and this is the sunflowers that I found, which are adorable. And they are metal free. Okay, so now we're going to do the second layer on these. Pick it up. I mean, I don't know what you're going to do, but this is how I do it. So I put a little daub right on the disc and on the back. Okay, it's kind of spilling over. I'm going to take my little tool here. It's just a little silicone tool wand thing. And I'm spreading it over this disc. Right? Make sure we get our disc first. Then I'm going to drag to the edge of each one of these. All the way to the edge, all the way around. And all I'm trying to do, literally, is just create a good sandwich there and then bring some shine to the rest of the back of this so you can't really tell what happened. I don't know if this is necessary, it's just what I do. It also gives it more grip, you know? We don't want these to fall apart on people. There we go. We'll let that settle over here while I do the next one. Same thing for the plastics. Right next to the disc. Kind of half on the disc, half on the back. Start with my disc, because that is the most important part, is that we're trying to sandwich this disc. So technically, if you have like a disposable paintbrushes, maybe might be kind of a cool idea when you're just trying to, you know, add a layer of shine or evenly distribute the UV resin. There might be a faster way than what I'm currently doing. I'll leave that to you guys to figure out. If it gets too blotchy and you can really just see the streaks and they're not coming back together, add yourself just a tiny bit more. Just trying to make a layer. Alright, that's that. We're going to put these under the light again. And I will bring you back to show you what they look like when they're all done. And that's it. Like, you got your little backs and whatnot, and you get these little packs of however many plastic posts you would like to have. I think they come in like 50, 100, 500. And then usually they will come with the backs as well. I know you can't really see in that bag, but it's like it's a whole lot of backs of earrings. So I've actually been putting these backs on the backs of the metal earrings as well. My son, that's not allergic to metal, says that these are more comfortable than the metal ones. So why not share the love? Alright, we're about to see these finished. This is the metal. Okay. There it is. Nice and dry. And here it is. Plastic. Nice and dry. Not going to come off. And so these are all going on this tray. There's our tiny little studs. Just so tiny. Not going anywhere. You saw that I didn't put any more resin on these because it literally didn't need any more. These are so tiny that if I put more resin, it might run over the sides. So that's it. It is super stuck on there though because it's resin to resin. And these all go on this tray. And this tray, except for these guys, these are horrible. These were an idea that see those eye pins? It was the only way I could get him to be on something that could go on something. Because I could not put a post on the back of his head. It's an uneven head. So I came up with eye pins. These are for me personally. Some Jack Skellingtons. And then I have his lovely lady. And these are on posts. So as you see, I put all of them on this tray, and then I'm going to take these and I'm going to set them in the sun before I put them on cards. I set them in the sun for a few hours, and I give them their final cure in the sun, just to make sure that they're super ultra hard. They're hard enough now, but I just feel more comfortable with a final cure in the sun. Plus, it kind of gives us that using natural energy, solar power, authenticness to our brand. So, you know, it is kind of a cool idea. We take them all the way to the solid point, but we final cure in the sun to avoid using more electricity. And then they will get packaged up. I'm just missing some studs for this. I got to make some yellows. And then we have more rhinestones coming. So we'll have a bunch more rhinestone, metal-free offerings. Because my daughter, she really does love the studs, the rhinestone studs. It gives her, you know, that flexibility. She's a very active child. So yeah, that's it. Now you can go off and make your own, be creative, you know, see what's out there. Go browse the button aisle of all the places in the entire planet. The button aisle. Alright, you guys have a wonderful day. Thank you so much for watching. Please like, share, subscribe, and comment if you got any questions. I'll try to come up with an answer for you.